Yo, guys and gals, we're back in action. GarrisonLT here, you know the drill. We're going to, I'm not expecting a lot of people to know about this, so, let's just say this. A lot of people will actually probably end up coming here later in the stream and or later on after it's recorded. But we're going to basically do what I had actually explained about several months back. I'd spoken about basically giving my opinions on certain people that I generally don't trust, or even those I don't mind. So we're going to get this over with and get it going. See how it goes. But ultimately, this is a live rendition of it, so we'll just have to see how it goes. As you see, there's no background on the stream right now because I'm actually keeping it blank for a sec while we get everything going. I have to basically think things on the go as we do this, so there might be some errors. So one of the things that actually is kind of an issue to me, and it's been an issue to others, but they always do it, and then they try to call me on it or whatever, or call each other on it. That might be kind of close to my mic. Sorry if I am. Is people love to say that people talk behind people's backs or whatever, but don't say it to faces and shit like that. So that's what we're going to change here. This is what we're going to say here. All right. I don't got a problem with saying what I think about a lot of people. I don't got a problem with say, negatives, positives, whatever. I think we're all just kind of living in our daily lives and trying to live day by day and just chilling out, whatever. I mean, you do you. As long as you leave me the fuck alone with, toxicity or whatever, I'll leave you alone with any kind of shit talk right back, whatever you want to call it. It's just something that can just be an issue within this community. So many people are so sneaky; they don't want to speak their mind, and a lot of times I think we have an issue where it's causing problems for where I can't basically get on without some kind of drama lately, and I got other things in daily life that's more important. All right, and that's not to say people online are not important to me. I do actually do love this community. I'm not talking ill on it as a whole at all. I'm just speaking things that are actually spoken about or that I know of. But let's get to it. First off, I think that actually one of the things people do, and I think I've done it, I've been at fault doing it too, is that we love to speak negatives about people, but never try to say at least one positive about someone. If you can't basically say a positive about someone, you shouldn't be speaking at all, right? I mean, we learned that shit back in kindergarten. I think we all do. Now we're gonna keep this, like I said, the stream kind of blank for now while I'm speaking all this. Secondly, how do I say this? Actually, I can put the capture card in 1 sec. Oh, all right. Secondly, we all have that one person we may not like or may dislike, whatever, right? We all have some person that bugs the absolute fuck out of us, even a little bit. But, a lot of times people hold grudges. Shit like that happens, right? And the problem with that is it is an issue to me. I think that a lot of people are just too close-minded. They want to say, "Oh, I'm top. I'm this. I'm that." I'm like, dude, like, it's not that important. Like, people still do shit that are like, that they did. There was my phone. That they did like maybe like years ago. But then started me. But things have to change to an extent, right? Well, I'm trying to multitask, so give me a second. Now I'm gonna say this. This is on the whole concept of where I've been talking about Xbox positively compared to PlayStation. I think this needs to be said too. It did initially start out as a troll. It did. But I think ultimately, when I started basically getting annoyed at the issues for Storm 4 for PS4, that's where I think I actually ended up getting annoyed with shit, where I actually started taking it a little bit more serious with it. Now, ultimately, it shouldn't matter what people's opinions are on platforms. It really doesn't. I mean, I own all the platforms, so to me, I think they're all good in their own way. But PS4 is definitely not it for Storm to me. I think it's better for other games. I think this console is not bad. I think it's definitely lacking compared to its older ones like the PS1, PS2, PS3, whatever, right? That's my opinion, and I am definitely entitled to it like everybody else is, all right? You are as well. But realistically, these are problems. Like, people just generally want to say things like biased opinions, shit like that, without realizing that your opinion is always going to be biased. That's what makes it an opinion. You don't just basically speak an opinion without it being within your preference. Which is how that shit works, right? That's just my thought pattern on that. Now, but what we can do now is get right to the people. I'm gonna basically speak my mind on people that I friends with, some I'm not. We'll go with first off. Oh, my neck, shit. It's been a rough 2 weeks. First off, I think we're gonna speak on. God, there's so many people. So one of the things that I want to basically get this going out, I'm gonna start blocking people. All right, if I don't actually like you, I'm probably gonna block you. I just think that drama this day and age is just not worth the time or effort. If you want to basically bring it around, keep it within yourself and your friends group. I'm not dealing with it. I'm just kind of done with this shit, dude. Like I don't care about drama. All right, it's just not worth the time and effort. And honestly, it's pissing off people that are around me too, because they have to be they end up having feeling like they have to be around it because of my standpoint in certain places. So we're going to basically go off on that first. We'll go off the people, and I'll state who I'm going to block, and I'll show it on the stream too. But like I said, I'm also going to say negatives and positives. I'm not going to just basically only say negatives about people. And that's going to be people I may not really like. And some of y'all basically may actually hate. And I've seen a lot of people hate some of these people. But it's not that serious. You're on a fucking anime game taking shit so widely out of proportion that it's not important. Like, I feel where you're coming from. I understand your reasoning, but it's just not. It's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for them to deal with it. And so we're going to speak about first is a group that loves to be my top fucking following. I swear to God, they love to be my biggest fan base. That little cult we like to call the Infamere groups, I guess. To start off, I think we need to say some people I can't block because I have to work with them in certain aspects. Mind you, these things still need to be spoken about, and this is going to be publicized. Joe Jones is one of them. I'm not going to block him. I don't have reason to. I think he's kind of an idiot clown that just kind of sits on Infamere's lap too much and twists, turns, and say when, where, and how, daddy. But he is a clown. He's very much someone that talks too much shit. He runs his mouth far too much, and then he doesn't back it up, or he says he can, or he says you're trash, but he's losing a match. Like, it's one of those legitimate attitudes. And from what I understand, someone actually told me that he used to actually like my content or whatever, I guess. I don't know. But I don't generally have a physical issue with him. I just think he's kind of one of those fools that just follows, doesn't listen, doesn't think for himself. He speaks blindly without realization. He speaks on gossips that he hears. A lot of the community does, so I mean, that's not just him. But at the same time, I mean, I can say something positive. I think he's passionate about what he does. He's definitely trying to run his clan in his own way. If he doesn't want to clan battle us, that's, I mean, to me, I mean, a lot of people that might be ducking, that's fine. But it's also his choice. I'm not going to harass him to do a clan battle, nothing like that. It's his choice. It's what a clan leader does. They don't have to do things. But at the same time, you also cause other problems. That's fine. But, if he does have a wife like he says, I mean, good job, dude. Proud of you. I don't care. I don't need one myself. I don't think that's a necessity that people love and to society love to press upon people that you need to get married, have kids, or whatever, and ultimately, give to the wartime regime kind of thing. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. But secondly, I mean, there's other people around that group that I'm not going to fully go into, but I'll speak on. Some people actually have gotten hints, and others have too, that are very fake people. And I mean, there's people like, and I've had decent discussions, but a lot of that group loves to place blame without realizing things that don't make sense. Um, One person is Zachary Hampton. I think that's how you say his name. Now, I've had pleasant conversations sometimes, but he definitely came off at some point as someone that was trying to uh, play victim when he really didn't need to. Let me see if I can find that. It wasn't necessary. It was like he was speaking on something that another viewer had actually spoken about, and then came after me about it. Just kind of stupid. I don't know if the comments are still even available. It's whatever. Knowing him, he might have just deleted his comments. I have no idea. It's not that important. But it's one of those things where people love to. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll show it as an example. Let's see, I was streaming when he started it. I just gotta find this shit. If it doesn't show, it's perfectly fine, I guess. There it is. All right, let's see here. All right, so this was an example in the conversation. A viewer actually asked me, states, what should we call it? Said something about him, something questionable or whatever about him having a 1 round match, right? Which is sketchy. It doesn't matter where you come from. You can't say that it's all because you want to stop someone from rage quitting. Because if someone notices it's a 1 round, they're still going to do it. It's not stopping them. It didn't stop them in the old days at all. It's still going to do it. All right. There's nothing getting around that. You can't argue that. It doesn't make sense. But he said that shit, and I said, well, I mean, I can tell you later. And it's just generally stupid. First off, I need to move that. Not look at Twitter. Twitter's a hellhole. But ultimately, I mean that's the deal. He came in, kind of keeping telling me don't know why you were talking about me using to you when you used a dash cut. Yeah, I didn't say it didn't. That's fine. I use metas all the time. Don't mind if you use them, but if you're using metas and you use certain tactics, certain actions within how you speak, certain actions and how you play, and casual PMs and such, it does come off as sketchy. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your standpoint is. It doesn't matter who you're friends with. It's still sketchy. It doesn't. It comes off, and you know what? We seem to have apparently cleared that up. Though he is someone that's kind of tried to come around when he thinks things are going to be, drama between me and someone else that they're starting. And it's funny how this group loves to play victim while causing themselves the emotional turmoil, maybe is the word, or drama kind of concepts, right? You look at this shit, like I told him, went on, he kept saying, why don't you, like I said, he kept saying, bro, you were on stream, why not ask me to, like, why would I need to ask you the message? We could say it publicly. See, like, if it's not that big a deal, why are you trying to place blame and play victim and all this shit? It doesn't make sense. Just say it. It's not that big a deal. Like, and he eventually says it. It's whatever. It clears up. He tries to call me a liar on some concepts, and I ended up having to actually private message him shit on like Discord or something, or no, it was on Xbox. I ended up private messaging him some shit, and that's ultimately why. And he, it's just kind of sketchiness. It's whatever, right? And so some of the information I was wrong about, and I got worked out, and then most of it actually I was correct about, and had recording of people, telling me. That being said, I mean, he's a good guy in his own way too. I think, like I said, I'm going to try to say something positive about everybody. I think that's something that needs to be done. Not everything needs to be negative. Now, Zachary, I don't trust him. I don't really like him because he's done these sketchy shits, and therefore I'm probably going to end up blocking him. And that's just my thought pattern that I'm going to do. I just don't want to deal with all this shit anymore. Like, it's just like we're in, what, 2022? Storm is now six plus years old. That doesn't make it a bad game. I'm not saying that. But it's time that people grow the fuck up at times. It really is. It's just getting old. It's getting stupid. And people need to, honest to God, learn to, like, some of these motherfuckers are in like their 20s, mid 20s, even at times older. And mind you, there's a point where like you control. That's fucking fine. But like for me, when I troll, I'm not expecting people to keep me at it. Like, you can't play victim if you're talking shit or whatever, or even when you're of course there's the concept of how you're trolling. Let's say if it's like prime example, with Sasori and Yuki's group. At one time, people did in that group, not specifically those two, didn't like me trolling. And see, the way I troll is a lot of times just joking around. I'm not like coming at you personally. I'm just joking around, trying to have fun with you, not be a dick at all times. When you start talking shit or whatever, because you're taking things out of context or whatever, and just start problems, it's just kind of gonna end up getting fucking worse, and I'm not gonna care, because it's just like, you need to, like, a lot of people are just too fucking tight-assed in this community, and it's honestly ridiculous. You can't just chill, joke around with each other, and then it's a problem. Well, their group does it to each other. I mean, there was a point where, someone would say some joke that was kind of trolling the other, and then, back and forth. And I tell them, I said, y'all realize that y'all are trolling, right? They're like, no, we're joking. I'm like, that's what a troll is. Trolling isn't always got to be toxicity. People don't understand that. You don't have to basically start problems with it. You can just joke around with people. For example, Kenshin. That happened one time too. Kenshin I was trolling with him during a tournament. I wasn't even talking shit. And people tried to basically, of course, place the blame on me about it, not realizing that what I was doing was not as big a deal as what they fucking said. It didn't make sense. And that got proven because I had it recorded. I'm not fucking stupid. And that's the other thing. I mean, it's just these people just don't get it. But let's get back to the case here. Certain other people. We got past Zachary. We got past Joe. Like I said, I'm just not gonna put up with this shit. It's just not worth it. And I might look like a bad guy. That's fucking fine, dude. I don't talk to these people that often. If I don't talk to you, even like if I don't have to work with you ever, it's really less reason to fucking keep you unblocked. It's just how it is. Now, that being said, we're gonna speak on Inframan and Thetis, Curly, and all that shit. Now, mind you, I'm not even bothered by them in some ways. It's just they're fucking stupid. They're dumber than doornails, and all they are is to start problems for themselves and others around them, and then play victim because they're mentally unstable. They are generally mentally unstable. All right? There's nothing getting around that. It doesn't matter what your thought is, how much you've been around them. They are not trolls. They are toxic. Extreme toxicity, to the point that you're booting people offline after talking about other club leaders or community leaders being either what's it called? Fuck, I went blank. Being biased, shit like that. It doesn't make sense. They brag at one point about being and this is another thing, they're not worth any kind of content at all. They really aren't. That's why I haven't put a lot of new videos out on them that I could have. They're just not worth the work. But ultimately, like I said, oh, I don't want that flank. Can you not? There we go. Like I said, they're just always out there to cause problems. And some of these videos I'm going to put in the just information. They're not actually Dude, can you not pause? Dude, I paused it. Okay. The other thing is, these guys literally will talk shit about how they're bragging about being the most hated, stuff like that. But at the same time, complain about people not wanting to play you. Like, what do you expect? It doesn't logically make sense. It's not realistic. It's mentally, fucked in the head completely. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And it doesn't matter what they want to say. It doesn't matter what they want to do. It doesn't matter what they want to think. It does not make sense in the slightest. Because it's not realistic. You can't basically start problems and then expect people to like you or want to play you. Mind you, Infamir, one of the things he does is he loves to talk in vague speech. People don't get by now. I'm not actually surprised because a lot of people try to talk shit about me being stupid or whatever. But if you don't understand the way that Infamir works by now, you're getting caught in his bullshit. It's on you. Ain't getting around that. It's fucking on you. Alright? Let's speak on this here. Alright? Let me move this over here, and it's doing that. That was just a video, like, tutorial how to get Lego Island to work on your PC. It's like a game from the late 90s, so don't worry about that. So let's look at this. Alright, this is a video from June 27th. It was during a stream. I had to unpublish, but I don't know if I can say it. Show too much of it. Let's see here. There we go. Just got to change the output. There we go. There we go. So, I don't know why all this shit shows. Sometimes it's like always the most random crap on the right side. I don't know why. But, you can kind of see here if we'll actually play the audio. No, it's just, OBS is going to change my outputs. That's fucking cool, bro. Can you show me how useless soccer is, too? Naruto 2 is my founding. I am the founder of Naruto 2. If I wanted to kick you, you could literally... For example, let's try to backtrack a little bit. Oh yeah, it actually starts. I got the timer. And like I said, this will be in the link of this stream later. It was about 8 o'clock at night. I was ready for bed. And they joined off a party tool. And it's funny how years ago they tried to brag saying they weren't booting people and stuff like that. But nobody in this party would have them added or have invited them. Look at this. Look at this party. Destructive, Sarofsy, Samir, and myself. None of us would have invited them. Infamir does not know half the shit he speaks about. And this is the last thing I'm going to say on him, because after this I'm going to block him. He's not worth the content. He's not content at all. He's just an idiot. And at this point, anybody that's dumb enough to believe his shit literally deserves what they get. And if you come to me later asking for help, if he boots you, harass you, whatever, you're gonna get that fucking block off of it, no matter if you're on an alt or not. Like, I'm not fucking with you. Yo, dumpster, shut up. Now,
Garrison Madman. Garrison Madman. Garrison Madman. Damn, Garrison Madman or not.
Like, they're both generally stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. You can't fry modems. And the thing is, I know more about what they're trying to do than what they do. You're a nobody. They don't know how to boot. They use fucking pullers and think that they're tough shit. Why do you sound like you're crying while frying a modem?
Again, hit all your friends off again. All your fucking friends around here get off, nigga. Again.
Sure, buddy.
Again, look up Netcom.
That's the other thing. He spoke something that I actually only told Choppa about, and I actually did it as a test. I told Choppa months ago that he was a dick rider of Infamir. And one of the things that Infamir did was end up booting one of my friends offline, ultimately pissing me off, to where I almost basically went into what he does, which I did not. Unexa started handling it. And so Infamir thinks that trying to push me to do it again is a smart move. I avoid that shit because I'm from Halo 2. Everybody knows that. Some people try to talk shit about me saying that. That's fine. Go fuck yourself. But ultimately, Infamir does not know how to boot. He uses freebooters, and then he uses IP pullers. That's it. He only basically boots for usually a max of like 5 minutes. And at that, he can't boot me. A few things you should know about Infamir as a person. One, if he starts laughing or giggling, he's doing one or two things. One, he's nervous out the ass, or two, he's trying to figure out his next response. And he does that a lot when he's around me. He's afraid of me. He knows he can't boot me, and then he even in this video tried to take credit for what people did years ago when he wasn't even around. He's that much of a clout chaser that he tries to take credit for others' work. He's weird. And it's literally mental deficiency. You can't get over it. Okay, so but at the same time, I mean, I'm glad he eventually got friends, I guess, to follow him around, whatever he's got. He's got definitely a cult going because a lot of them seem to be stupid. He lies in this video about, he gets caught by me at one time in this video saying that oh, you'll never get rid of me out of your club, you'll never get out. And I had to tell him I have around 9,000 members in Naruto 2. If he really thought that I didn't think that he had alts in there, he's got brain damage. Like, dead ass. Like, there's nothing getting around that. Of course, I would know when people get banned from Naruto 2, they probably try to bring alts in. It's not fucking... it's not rocket science. It doesn't make sense to actually try to tell me something I would already know since I've been adminning multiple communities throughout the years. And still do on Xbox alone. So, but like I said, he's got more cons than pros as a person overall. He doesn't think straight. He's mentally deranged. He thinks he's more than what he is. He tries to say, call people quote unquote virgins without realizing you've gotten caught on multiple occasions, literally simping over people. So it's not excusable. Oh, I can't see what you're saying. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you're paying money for booting because you're salty. But the thing is, he tried to say I was at one point a dictator kind of shit or whatever. I think one point. How the hell are you gonna say that I'm power hungry when you ended up making your own club and thus ended up booting people offline? You realize that booting. Anybody that realizes that booting is a power play, it is. And that's ultimately why when people have booting issues, they, in UNC alone, they end up coming to me for help because they know I can't get booted and I will scare the absolute living fuck out of booters. And I have done it multiple occasions. There's no getting around that either. For example, there's another video. There was a Xenoverse community thing. They ended up threatening to DDoS me. Well, that's why they threatened to SWAT. My network security screw you. My network security screw you. Yeah, that's not my IP, by the way, dumbass. That's the wrong one. Okay. You're stupid, man. This was in Xenoverse. I've been SWAT threat before.
You ever need me to slaughter? That's sad since I recorded you saying that. Oh, man. Let me just, show that recording to if they show up. Damn. Oh, that's funny.
Some of them ended up changing the gamer tags after I ended up telling them that I recorded them saying it. That's the thing, though. It's just so much drama for like no reason. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm gonna end up blocking people. I'm just done with people's shit. So, I've said what I said about Infamera. There's more cons than pros for that clown. It just, definitely sets some positives. He, I think, tried to become a good person years ago, but then again fell back into his toxicity, thus completely swiping his ever chance of being trusted again when he tried to screw over Kiriyami's Discord server. So, you get what you get, but at the same time, I'm going to say this. If you don't like Infamera, all right, and this goes towards friends, foes, whatever, you cannot join his club and then still say you don't like him. You definitely like him. Otherwise, you wouldn't support him in that sense. When you join someone's club or community, you are supporting them. It's no questions asked. There's nothing around that. You can argue that you're not all you want. You are in support of them. Zilch. There is no discussion. You become a hypocrite and you become a fucking fool by doing so. You cannot argue that you're not, because you generally are supporting what they do and you become part of the problem. So this is towards friends, foes, and everybody, even in UNC, that has actually thought about it. Don't even ever think that I would have an alt in his club. Since the time he made that club, I have never joined it. In fact, for years when me and Cruxa had issues, I only found out like months ago before me and Cruxa cleared everything up. And by the way, I'm glad we did. I have higher respect for him now. I'm glad we cleared that up. He's a good guy. It's all good. You may have different opinions. That's between you. All right. But I didn't even know I had an alt still in his club, and that would have been an alt that was joined back in 2017. And when I found out, I was like, well, let me remove it because I don't want to, at that time, support, right? So that's an example. Y'all don't get that Infamer, a lot of times, catches you in your bluffs. And this is something y'all need to realize. All right? When you join his community, you become part of his community. You become a supporter of his community because giving him memberships actually can boost the analytics of his club. So you are actually in support. So stop saying that you don't. And this goes towards people like, Saucery, Yuki, stuff like that, if they are still using alts in there or whatever, Wuxto, all you people that are even friends, you are supporting him and becoming part of the problem. You're not helping. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping your own clan by being in there. It doesn't matter whatever's in there. When he's basically spoken about, when Infamous spoken about, or others have spoken about people expose me in his club, I don't care. But we're going to move on. The same goes with Pafix. It's the same concept. They're basically Beavis and Butthead. So, Pafix deals with a lot. So, I kind of feel for him in a sense. I don't have generally a problem with him at all. I just think he's an idiot who's misguided. And I generally think he has a promising future if he'd get his head out of his ass. And yes, that was a positive comment. That was not a negative. I think he can be a good guy if he would grow up. And that's honest to God truth. I think Athetus could actually be a good person if he would stop thinking Storm is life. Like, y'all, like, these people need to touch grass. Deadass. But that's the thing. I'm going to block both of them because it's just not worth dealing with them anymore. If they join my parties, and the thing is, guys, y'all don't get it. I don't want them basically bothering people around me because a lot of people don't want to have to deal with that shit either, even though they know and understand why I do it. I care more about those that support me more than about those that don't. Does that make sense? Think about that. All right. And thus, keeping these kind of people away is beneficial for me and those around me. I'm caring about those around me more than I am about them. Because honestly, I was never going to, block these kind of people. So we're going to show it on stream right now. Because you know what? I don't care if they brag about it. It's just not realistic. I don't know how you can brag about someone blocking you. It just doesn't make sense. You can't. But people just love to get baited by him. So, like I said, these videos will be in the links in the video. But block that. It's not worth the time. Oh, I already had that one blocked. Interesting. I didn't even know I had that blocked. I think it's because it's an alt. But I'm just kind of tired of the fake shit. You know? What is his new tag? I assume that's him. Yep. Ready? Yeah, no, I hear you, Zach. Now we're gonna get close, get close to the playing field here. I'm gonna speak on those that are close to me. Some that have actually been closer than others. Some that have not. Now, some of these people I'm not going to speak negative on. Some of these people I just don't want to deal with anymore. All right, I mean, it doesn't mean I'm going to block them because I may have to still work with them. Like I said before, I'm also going to say something positive about said people. First up is Magician. Magician is probably the biggest capper in the community. And he can be a chill dude, don't get me wrong, like, he can be really cool, but at the same time, he can also just literally be bipolar out the ass. And he lies a lot. And I mean a lot. There's no getting around that. There is none. You cannot tell me any different. God, some of these are just ancient. But that's the thing. I mean, for example, years ago, people were actually thanking me in Naruto 2 feed when I was leaving Naruto 2 for PS4. I thought was going to be permanent at that time, because I was just kind of done with the shit over here for a while, and I wanted to move on. People were actually thanking me for training them, even at times basics, which is cool. I'm happy if I did, and happy if I didn't. Magician decided to try to get credibility off it by saying that he was trained by me too a little bit, and tried to thank me. And thus, of course, I tried to show appreciation later, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm glad I trained you, whatever." Saying he was a trainee. He took it and tried to twist it that he was not trained by me, and then tried to tell people that he didn't, and then in private would tell me, "Yeah, I did." I'm like, I'm not about this mental fucking twisting shit. It's just not me, right? And so, it's just fucking stupid crap that people do like that. That's just not worth the time. Magician lies a lot, and at times he can be just as stupid or toxic as people like Infamir. In fact, I think at one point he's bragged about having a booter. You do not actually make yourself a good person by doing that shit, right? Let's think about that. Alright, you are not actually, you don't fight fire with fire. Two wrongs don't make a right, and you are not a good person for doing that shit. For example, like I said earlier, I mean, I almost hit that point at 1.2 because they literally targeted someone that was having to deal with shit that was a life or death situation, literally. And I'm not going to go fully into it, but that's ultimately why. It was more of a protection sake. But you got people like even Ryudo. Ryudo is just as stupidly toxic at times too. Okay, he used to be chill as fuck. I don't know what the fuck's mentally wrong with that dude, and I honestly don't get how naive people are that they don't think he's going to do it to them. I don't even ever see some of these bows. But some of the shit is just so stupid. Ryudo is a large problem at times, too. He can be just as toxic. In fact, he has these idiots added. He does. He literally talks to these people. And one of the content in the Toxic Trio video is his. It's where he's direct messaging Infamir on Discord, saying, "Oh, why are you booting people offline and stuff like that." But if you read a little bit at the top, I noticed it when I was actually uploading it, but didn't actually fully think about it until later. They're having kind of casual conversations, and they had to have been current because why wouldn't it be, right? But at the same time, we don't have the full screenshot of all of Ryudo's and Infamir's messages. So, that being said, benefit of a doubt slightly there. But, why are you talking shit that you don't like Infamir and all this, but you're keeping contact with the idiot, right? It doesn't make sense. And at that, Ryudo can be a good person at times too. I think he's a good guy. I actually really did enjoy being around him, for years. When we were in UNC together, all that. And ultimately, I'm not going to go full detail, there was some, betrayal happened. And so, that's in the past. It happens. It happened. It's whatever. Forgive and forget as much as you can. But he can be a good person. I think he actually a lot of times just kind of misinterprets people's actions or whatever, and I don't know if it's out of stress or kind of anxiety or whatever. It could be. And so I gotta give him that respect. He's a damn good player. I don't think he's worse than Infamir or Thetis at all. Even if they try to brag about beating him ever, he's a damn good puppet master, I think. And a lot of these puppet masters deal with shit too much to be putting up with more. There's just so many problems. Kiriyami's a good guy too. He can be pretty chill, but he can also be one of the fakest people out there at times. And though I actually spoke one-on-one with him about this too, he did try to screw over UNC. he did talk behind my back as a leader and all that. He also stole half my members and tried to make Sector 7 again. Thus, initially why people like Athetus, Desired Serenity, what was his name? Serenity, and others were blacklisted at one point. Kuro doesn't speak his mind to people, and a lot of times that actually causes him problems. For example, he left Xbox Storm, was it a year or two ago? Because someone played his ego. Literally played him for his ego. Thus causing his own issue and embarrassment. He ended up trying to money match them, lost the money match, then he got so pissed he even bought them Storm and money matched them again and lost again. And so that was on him. It was arrogance. It's all good. But he can be a damn good person too. He's been supportive of other people and all that. He's, I got to give him this too. He ended up basically writing a book, becoming really successful. So damn good job on his part. All right, nothing better than that. Storm is not life, and this shit right here, it does not dictate life. It changes over time. And the thing is, some people take this game so serious. They laugh over people's deaths or talk ill about people in the community still after the deaths. You don't disrespect the dead. There's a line you don't cross, in my eyes. And some people I had beef with over time, back in the day, have passed. And for me, I didn't treat it negatively. I was mourning in my own way. I thought, this is fucked. Like, it's a big hit. I think it's a hit on the community, and I felt for those people and their friends and their family, whatever. Mind you, shit happens. But onward hope. Now, on the subject of Magician, he did actually do a lot of shit when he was running Raw. He actually ended up getting a booter named V Parody to hit me and Nestro off. That's I'm Nestro, I think, on Xbox. I don't know if he would reply to you. He kind of seems to ghost people at times, so just know that. Yeah, I'm Nestro. Me and Nestro were at 2018. My house got destroyed, and people decided, time to be a bigger jackass. And because we weren't accepting a clan battle with Roosh and Raw, because they weren't fucking leaving us alone and just starting shit, and me and Nestro were trying to play the new game out called Terra, a new MMO that had just hit Xbox back then. So we were having fun on it, and thus, Magician decided, and Hisoka the Magic's another fake fucker. No matter how chill I can be with him, he is still a fake individual and a chronic liar. So far to the point that he tried to say that some people are sending him nudes, and people don't understand. He tried to say that about Magician. This is where I kind of have to believe Magician after he tried to pull it on one of my friends, who's also a close friend and moderator of my stream. He tried to literally tell them that he did too, and he didn't even know who the person was. So there ain't no getting around that. There's nothing to negate to even say that it's true at that point. I don't think actually Magician sent anything either. I think Hisoka's just a chronic liar. Where was it? Yeah, Terra, the MMO. But basically, we had a new recruit. What happened was we had a new recruit in UNC. I had only met him once. He tested, passed, all that. I thought it was chill. And then days later, he joins us on alts, ends up getting pissed after he loses, and boots us for no reason. And we find out later on in the month, after basically getting booted constantly, like no reason. I'm in a hotel, so I have no way to protect myself, all that. Booted constantly, and he's booting Nestro too for literally little reason. And then we find out that Hisoka and Magician tried to tell him that I talk shit about him. I didn't even know the dude. V Parody did not know him at all at the time of meeting him. I tested him. That's cool. There was no reason to talk ill about the dude. I didn't know him. It's not logical. And if he is watching this later, I hope he knows that. I don't think he thought about that when it happened. And if he booted me all that time back then, I forgive him, whatever, like that. I mean, it's in the past. But Magician still lies to this day that he wasn't a part of that. That's a cap. You were leading your own clan, and you were definitely in the situation of that. and even Nestra would remember that Magician and Hisoka the Magic were a part of us getting booted offline constantly because we weren't going into their demands. Now, mind you, when we finally did accept their clan battle, they closed their clan down days before the clan battle happened. Only like 2 days before, ducking us entirely. It was not even excusable. There's no getting around that because you know damn well you did. We had the shit scheduled and then you shut down. You harassed us for months. Months. You booted us offline because we wouldn't accept your clan battle while we're trying to do and chill on our own pace. We're trying to do our own thing, mellow out, have fun on the console that we pay for service. And you had a dude commit a felony. That's what DDoSing, booting, and all that is. It is a felony. That's why I do not condone it. It is a federal felony, actually, because you're distribution of denial of service. Literally. So services you pay for are denied because it basically attacks the external IP. Magician's not a good person. He can be chill as fuck, but can just be as toxic as those he calls toxic, like Infamir and Athetus. And that's where I lacked respect for him. Now, mind you, on a good note to speak on him, he can be pretty chill. He can be pretty fun to be around. Until he basically, starts sipping from the bottle, so to speak. He's a drunk. He at one point was, I don't know if he got out of that when I guess he's coming out of base camp now or whatever. Power to him if he went to military or whatever, for real. Because he does chronicle a lot. I don't know if I believe it. But when he's a drunk, he's a jackass. He's literally an annoying jackass that just misinterprets shit and causes his own problems, and then tries to use it as an excuse when he loses first to fives while under the influence. It's not an excuse, all right? If you're under the influence, it's your choice to be under the influence. No questions asked. It's your fault, all right? If you lost the first to five while under it, your fault. Nothing around that, nothing getting around that. He's also manipulative in matches. That happens. So, but we're going to get off him too. Now, about Yuki, all right? GOS Yuki is a good guy. I actually don't have a problem with him at all in the slightest. He's someone I can work with and talk to and discuss. He's a good guy. Some people might have thought, oh, Garrison hates him, whatever. No, I go way back with Yuki. I actually do highly respect him. No matter some of the things he's done are wrong, yeah. But I think personally he's done them wrong out of ignorance. What's up, Placo? Yeah, so I think Yuki's done things out of ignorance. And because he was told something or manipulated into thinking that. That's just how I see it. I understand where some people might have issues with him, and I don't deny them because, you know what? Everybody has what annoys them. It makes sense. It's just a lot of problems. That being said, I mean, you got other people like I said, I got really nothing to talk ill about Yuki. And some people were actually thinking I would. I did tell him, I was going to tell the truth of what I thought, and that is the truth. I think at times he gets involved on things that are not his business because he was either told by someone else something that he was ignorant of, that he doesn't know, actually. And he believed it because he thought it was a trustworthy source. And I think he's kind of gotten out of that. He doesn't get in people's business anymore at all because one of the concepts happened where he actually thought things about somebody in another server. That person ended up leaving, closing down said servers and stuff like that. And then I ended up being able to talk to him later, and he didn't even know that half his information was false. And thus, I think someone else gave him the information. I don't think it was things that he saw himself. I think he takes credit for it to kind of not place blame where blame should be, to try to avoid further issues. I think he does that more to keep peace, take the brunt for what someone else did, I think. So I think, honestly, I don't think Yuki's as bad as people say. I think he's actually one of the most chill people to be around. And it's the same with Sasori. Sasori, and people give him shit too. Sasori could be one of the coolest people out there. And a lot of people give him shit, but I don't partner with him for no reason. Sasori deals with a lot. And a lot on the game, as well as in real life. And I'm not going to go into that. That's his business. But people love to give him shit without understanding or thinking, yo, I need to put myself in his shoes. I need to think, how is he doing? Like, what's going on with him? Why is he kind of blowing up? You know, people do this. People do these things out of stress. And so for me, I mean, like for me, if I get extremely stressed, a lot of times I ramble. And it's basically rapid thinking. It's kind of like an anxiety. Um, it's rapid, just extreme rapid thinking because everything's going through your head out of just stress and things going on. Like I got my own shit that's going on in life. I got my own shit that's going outside the game. The game is not that important. People need to realize that. People got other things to deal with. For example, Playco. I think people give Playco too much shit. Playco, a lot of times, I think, has his own crap in real life, too. I don't know what it is. He doesn't have to tell me. But I actually have always had a high respect for Playco, even when, you know, he may have actually had different thoughts about me. It happens. It's all good. Like, I'm not someone that dwells on too much on the past. Um, and that being said, it's funny when people bring up people like Saturday to me and shit like that, saying that he put me on the mark when it's not even actual factual. um, I was known in the community way before even Saturday was even a spec to me. Before I even know who he fully was. The only reason I came across him, I think, randomly, I found one of his YouTube videos somehow, some way. I forgot. I think it was on someone else or something, and I ended up commenting. It was before I actually had met him in the Discords or ever had actually conversated with him. I can't remember what video it was. It was ages ago, and I was like, "Yo, I mean, I'll be over on PlayStation eventually soon. Hopefully, you know, we can play sometime, right? Just chill." I don't know where things took a left turn. You got people like Yuri Uchiha, where if you look, if when I looked back at my earlier messages with him, it was pleasant. It was actually really good conversations. But Yuri is also seen as a sociopath in the fact that he switches up like instantaneously. I don't know what he went through. I don't know what people do. I don't. And I don't ask these questions because if you got shit going on in your life, it's not my business. It's not. You got problems. Like, apparently, I just found out from someone that Yuri at one point was homeless. And I really felt bad for him at that point. Mind you, a lot of people hate Yuri. I felt really bad when I heard that. I'm like, you know, I would like to try to clear things up with Yuri one day. And it would be nice. I mean, I'm very much someone that tries to find peace with people. If I've had beef with someone, I try to find the peace between us. You got what? Trick. Hold on. Let me zoom in. I can't see. My eyes are terrible right now. Yeah, it is. It is sad. I think a lot of people just need to understand that, you know, for me, I like people asking me questions. If they hear something about me, from someone else, come to me and ask me about it. I might put up kind of a guard because it's, you know, stress that I don't want to deal with, but just kind of talk with me respectfully, and I'll discuss with you and tell you what I know of what happened and what is true, what is not. You can't basically believe gossip and then expect it to be true. Gossip is not true. And I think Seraphacy spoke about that one point recently. Someone tried to say, oh, all gossip is true and all that, whatever. And she brought up the factor, I think it was her or someone else, brought up the factor of old game teachers used to do actually for us in third grade with tin cans and whatever. You tell someone something, and they go tell someone else. You'd be surprised. You can still be in the same party with someone on Xbox or whatever, and you could tell them something, tell them to go somewhere else. Over time, the words get misconstrued, and it's a natural thing that happens within gossip. And so, thus, it becomes false. People don't understand that. Gossip is not a positive thing, and that's why I've always tried to say that, you know, I'd rather people come to me and ask me questions. Is this true? What do you know? Do you know of this situation? Are you okay with the situation? No, no, yes, yes, whatever, right? People, for example, I came into a party the other day when I was invited to by Yuki. I join up and someone just starts randomly talking shit, saying, "Oh, um, no, 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 no. I could announce my blacklist for you and see that I haven't done that yet." No, actually, I spoke about this months ago that it would be truthful and tell people exactly what I thought of them. I've kind of held off on it because it's a lot of drama that could cause. But at this point, like I was telling earlier, I'm also going to end up blocking some people because ultimately it's causing problems for those I actually do care about, that are actually close friends, that it's affecting, that don't want to deal with these kind of dramas. And some of these people I just don't want to be around anyways, so it doesn't matter. Like Infamir and Athetus, I blocked earlier on the stream. Just not even any point to put up with them anymore. It's not content, it's just unnecessary problems. I hear you. I hear you. So, like I was saying, like, for example, there was a guy that was, I joined a party about a week ago. I want to say about a week ago. I never actually pay attention or keep track of these times. I'm very much someone that forgets unnecessary shit. But, I joined a party Yuki invited me to because we were going to play Pokemon Unite on our Switch. And I join it, and instantly someone just goes at me like, "Oh, get that fucker out of here, Garrison! Yeah, get that motherfucker!" What, talking shit, just telling me to get me out of the party. I'm like, dude, like, what? I don't even know you, because I very much forget names too. And so, like before me and Yuki left, because I find out, I said, I say, yo, if you, I mean, I don't know what happened between you and me, but or what you've heard or whatever, but I do not mind trying to squash whatever beef we have. It's very much something I won't mind doing. If there's actually a problem between me and another person, just talk with me, try to work things out, be an adult. Don't just keep harboring your hatred towards people in a fucking anime cartoon game. And so I end up leaving the party and finding out from someone else they were part of an issue with Kenshin. Why is Yuki invited me? Why is Yuki spam inviting me, dude? Hold on. This man. Oh man, one sec. I don't know why. Oh, bro, what you doing there? Chill. All right, hold on. This man's. What are you doing? I gotta join him on my PC. One sec. Yes, Yuki.
Garrison, can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes, I'm middle of streaming.
Oh, he left. Oh, Garrison, did we ever play in Revolution?
You and me? I don't remember. No, I would not know.
Okay,
Garrison,
thank you. That's all. That's all you say.
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave real quick. I'm in the middle of a stream.
My bad. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think Garrison got an exposure of your Sir La Lucia.
Expose of you too, stupid. Anyway, see ya. Guys is a fucking moron. No, I didn't expose Yuki. So, let's see here. That's funny. God's trying to bring me in drama too. That's another fuck I really don't like. Yeah. So, with hold on. I can almost guarantee. I'm thinking in the back of my head, I know God's gonna end up messaging me after I said that shit. Oh man. I lost my train of thought of what I was talking about. What was I? Who was I? Oh, yeah. Anyways, let's talk about that situation. So, apparently, there were the situation with Kenshin. Now, this is one of those issues where I say, people don't understand a lot of times when I'm trolling. I'm not doing it to be toxic. I'm not doing it to talk shit. I'm just doing it to joke around with you, get, kind of have fun with you. I'm not being a dick. I'm not, unless you start talking shit, that's when things might go south, all right? So something happened about, I think, at a tournament years ago. And thus, ended up being a spiral of bullshit later on. Kenshin's little dick riders ended up fucking going with it, whatever, and getting trolled on the same concept. They tried to manipulate shit by saying I wasn't getting punished in one of the Discords, and I was actually telling the Discord admins to punish me when it happened. That I'm not going to basically back down. People know this. If you talk shit to me, I'm not that white dude that's going to sit back. That's just not me. Whether you like me or not is not important. It does not bother me. Because at that point, if you're really ready to talk shit, you better be really ready to take shit. That's how I see it. All right? equal on all playing fields. What you say, I will say back. You need to be, I will listen to what you say. So if you contradict yourself 30 minutes later, I'm going to call you on it. I am. And Kenshin fell for that shit. Kenshin tried to talk shit to me over one match in an endless. You cannot talk shit to me about a casual endless. It's just not me. Right? Now, that being said, I don't know Kenshin well enough to actually speak anything positive about him. So I'm just going to leave it there. I would like to. I don't know him that well. I mean, the best I can say, at least he has a lot of friends. Whatever. But, I don't like the fucker. I don't like him. I don't like a lot of his friends. But at the same time, I'd still be willing to work things out and try to find an equal understanding. That's just how I am. I've always been someone that can actually do that. And some people understand that. I mean, let's go further into this. I need to get on this subject right now. So, about a couple months back, I think I was private chatting with Kotetsu. I think Gunweed was in there. I don't remember who all was. But there was a situation that happened a few months back that involved Qon and his group, whatever. And Kotetsu brought it up to me again a couple months ago and tried to say, quote unquote, yo, tell me what's going on with your boy. Not make this shit up. All right? Let me be clear. Two things. One, I repeat, I do not like Fatal. I've spoken this very, very, very often. I do not like Fatal, and he did this shit in my server. Right now, this chat is actually offline because I was trying to reorganize the Discord. But here it is, all right? Here's where it started. This was a few months back between Fatal, who's the one true Rinosuke, and Ishiki. Fatal, let me say this. Fatal I haven't liked since the first time he actually started messaging me. And ultimately, I'm going to move this for a sec. Fuck. But, let me bring this up. Let me show these private DMs real quick. So, early on, can't remember where it starts. Let's see. Oh, he starts asking me about photoshopping for his Discord. And I've told a few people about this, but this pisses me off. He came at me, asking me, and I gave him a price range. Mind you, I have a high price range, but at the same time, I actually put work into my content. I don't give you no fucking cheap shit. I actually do the work, alright? I basically bring you on stream, whatever, have you discuss with me what you want to do or what you want done in the artwork, alright? So I work with you, close in hand. And so he wants to do them for $4 or $5 each. I'm not doing shit for $4 or $5 each. You got me fucked up. Alright? And so I say, paid me $100 for what was needed, which was true. He said, "Oh, dude, I'm good." And then he started insinuating by saying, "Never mind, I'm not stupid." Like I said, it depends. He said, "Stupid." He said, "I'm good." Photoshops take several hours, which is true. That would be, work and labor towards it. And so he brings up Fiverr, all that shit. This was my initial issue with him. Now, this was back in April. And this shit happened. And this is going to basically be me speaking on a lot of people I just generally think are fucking retarded. What's up, Prey? And so, this idiot starts going at Ishiki in my server. One thing I can say about Inosuke is it's really weird how he almost tries to follow my footsteps, but in the most terrible and mentally stupid way. He tries to expose toxins or whatever. He's even tried to, ask me to help him with shit. I'm like, no. He's weird, alright? It's just not. No. Just a fucking weirdo. He's just always looking for issues rather than fixing issues and staying to his damn self. Now, you see all this, he's harassing Ishiki over and over. He keeps trying to insinuate that I'm going to be on his side, whatever, or thinking that I'm going to be. He ends up telling Ishiki the same shit. I think I can kind of just slow scroll. You can kind of just over here see this later in the fucking video, but I'm going to scroll a little bit faster so we can get down it. It's a lot of crap. I'm going to go a little bit faster. You can basically, like I said, when this is recorded and all that, you can rewatch, stop, motion, whatever you want to do. But this is what we're going to do here and just kind of speed it up. He starts his own problems and then plays victim. And honestly, I don't see that as a non-toxic behavior. You're going at now, mind you, if a kid is, no matter what your age is, all right, I'm not your fucking babysitter on the internet, all right? If you come at me, no matter your age, I don't give a fuck who you are, I'm going to talk shit to you. If you fucking bring your parents on the fucking phone too, I'm going to talk shit to them because they're being neglectful, all right? If you are underage and you are on the console running your mouth, it is not an excuse. Does not matter. Does not matter your opinion. And it really doesn't. Because if you're going to let these kids do this to you, disrespect you as an adult, when it's not even your responsibility to, let them do it. All right? It's on you. If you're that stupid to let it happen, you're a moron. All right? Now, on the same subject. On the same subject. Kyon's a fucking idiot during that situation. And honest to God, I don't understand how these idiots actually believe this clown that I would ever take his side. It just goes to show you how much they love to talk shit behind my back without knowing me in the slightest. And as I said earlier, I do not mind, and I guarantee someone's going to be this petty to bring Q on here for me saying this, because it did happen last time. Or people are going to leave and not want to hear it. But when he brought up to them in the voice chat between them while they were talking shit, he brought me up, saying that me and my server took his side. You'll look through this, whatever, later and read it, and you'll see that it's false. But the fact that they all laughed and tried to talk shit about me at the same time did not go well for me. Generally pissed me off when I heard that shit. Because I'm like, you actual clowns love to say how you know me so well. Try to talk shit about my character and stuff like that when you don't even know me. And you know what? Kotetsu tried to excuse it after you literally, at the beginning, tried to say he was my boy. Right? He's not. I don't like the fucker. I think he's a clown. But ultimately, Q1 was wrong in that stream too. He literally race baited the guy. So, both sides were wrong in the situation. When they were basically saying that Inosuke, which I don't think he should be saying, Nigga. Mind you, the word is not a negative term. Usually it's a form of familiarity in conversations and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? That being said, it's not necessarily a negative term. It doesn't come down to race and stuff like that, and much people don't consider it as such. Huon, I can say, though, he's done well for himself. I'm proud of him for what he's done. He's done a lot of good for himself. I don't see how he's done... I may be in the dark on this, so I'm not even going to speak ill when I say this. I don't know how people say he's done a lot for the community, because running tournaments that literally have not been a non-selfish behavior, because he's ended up getting a lot of positives back to him. I don't see how that's well, that's not even all my games installed. I thought you already knew that. But ultimately, I think he tries to be a good guy, whatever. But the other concept was he tried to say that he's not a professional streamer, and I think that's because a lot of times, and I'd be wrong, some people seem to try to compare me and him. Yes, I'm a professional streamer, and yes, so is he. When the man is making around $4,000 a month off Twitch streams, yes, he is a professional streamer. There's no getting around that. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't have all this shit downloaded. I thought you knew this. Like, look, I have more. Does it make you feel better? Then I also got to get my Game Pass back, so I'm gonna have that in about a few, couple hours. But then again, there's also those disc games that I've installed. Now, but like I said, guys, there's more. There's probably more people I can't think about right now because it's just not worth caring about too much. If I forgot about someone, or if you're ever curious about what I truly think, you're most welcome to contact me or whatever. And maybe some of the shit I may have seen is not true. Maybe some of the shit needs to be talked about. Be an adult about it. Don't basically talk behind my back and think that I'm going to let it happen. I'm basically going to speak my mind. This is what the platform of freedom of speech is for. This is what YouTube is for. And thus, that's why I'm doing it here. You cannot argue that factor. You cannot say I'm wrong on a lot of these concepts, because if y'all are so stupid, such as that situation with Fatal, to actually believe his clown ass, it's on you. You are a moron. And if you actually believe that I would take up for that fool, you have more brain damage than a fucking common house, fucking flea. Alright? Let's keep it real. Like, if anybody actually believed that statement, that actually what he said is true, you're a moron. But like I said, with the race baiting that QAnon did, he brought him on a webcam, told him to bring him on a webcam during his stream, saying he's going to expose him and all that, saying that he doesn't normally do it. Yes, you do. You just do it in different passive-aggressive ways. But he brought him and two of his friends, who are also black, and the guy that's saying that he can say the word because I guess he's Egyptian or something. So he's lighter skinned. He's lighter toned, whatever you want to call it. He brought him on there, right? And it's a race bait. It's literally a race bait. It ended up getting worse on QAnon stream. Fatal ends up saying something extremely racist and fucked up. And yeah, it was not really played out at all in a good sense. So that's just it. Like, these people do this shit, and they wonder why it backfires. Mind you, I don't really care what people think. Like I said, also on the concept of the console war shit, I do not have a problem with the overall PS4 console. I think some of the games are actually pretty great, but storm-wise, it is not it. And for people to actually, this is the last thing I'm going to say, for people to actually speak and really get defensive over the fact of me saying Xbox side is better, it's funny because I'm literally saying exactly what you said to me for years about PlayStation. The only thing is, you don't like it returned. And thus, it's not biased completely. It's always going to be, because that's what an opinion is. An opinion is a personal belief that you feel is true, not necessarily factual. And thus, for people to get so defensive and such, and then say that my word doesn't equal true, well, it's just because I hit a nerve. It's the same concept when I basically said the flexing I do is a troll. People tried to dox me and failed at it. Tried to say I was on, what was it, welfare? But my house, literally, it's a 2,519 square foot single story home with a 2-car garage, big ass living room, 4 bedrooms, 1 jacuzzi bathtub, 2 walk-in showers, 2 toilets, a study, yes, an actual office in the front of the house, a breakfast nook, a dining room, a walk-in pantry. All bedrooms have walk-in closets, and people are trying to tell me, mind you, I also have a $125 barbecue pit in the backyard, a tree, some plants I actually planted myself that is about $200 worth, including the tree that alone was like $50 to $100 that I planted back there. That's it's a black tree with purple flowers or pinkish flowers. It's a beautiful tree, and it's still growing, and I'm still working on it. But for people to say, one, that I don't go outside and all this shit, or that I'm broke, you realize that the troll I did on the flexing worked. Whether you want to say it's flexing, it's not a troll or not, it was. Because if you went through that much trouble out of pure salt to actually try to expose me as a lie that is not a lie, Because I'm not broke. I'm not on any kind of disability quote unquote checks. That's not true. And you all look fucking stupid, whoever tried that shit. Because I got recorded proof. I got 2 freezers in the same fucking kitchen. Alright? One's a stand-up, like, 6-foot fucking freezer. I think it's actually taller than me, and I'm 6'4". And then the other one, and both of them are Frigidairs. The other one is a double-wide fridge and freezer that's in the kitchen as well. My coffee maker is a $160 Keurig. I think it's $160 to $175 or $170 Keurig without tax and everything. So when people try to say this shit, you only gotta realize you did get trolled. You just can't accept it. That's the only concept, and you only proved it. That's the only thing that's there. And that's the last thing I'm going to say, I think. We're going to end this here. I may add more to this. I just generally am not remembering things. I don't think this is that important. Just know, if you get blocked, you're going to deal with it. I'm just kind of tired of the drama. I got other things going on that I don't need to deal with this shit, and neither do the people around me that I care about. So, screw you guys. I'm going home. So to speak. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe, everybody. I'm glad you joined. Watched as well. Have good weekends. Good week. Whatever.
Can you feel it crush you? Does it seem to bring the worst in you out? There's no running away from these things that hold you down. Do they complicate you because they make you feel like this? Of all the colors that you shine, this is surely not your best. But you should know these colors that you're shining on.